Welcome to the GCI Conference Center. Please. Thank you. Please stand by. If you are the chairperson, press the star key now. Your conference will begin when the chairperson arrives. Please wait. You will now be placed into conference. There are 31 participants in the conference.
Don't call that because of popularity contest, but they really hate it.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
We're still on 30. Yes. We're
Yeah.
You know, for 2 years, could have been out there for.
Yeah. Run people out.
I think it's a few straggles here.
Oh, you got your coat? Yeah. What were you trying to... I think I have the wrong number again. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Bye-bye. Is this what you're looking for? Bye. I thought when you picked up your thing, I saw it flutter down there. I reached for the old lady. That's the person online. I believe it's 4:30 again. Yeah.
You would have called it order already, Mark.
No quorum.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we on the phone? All right. Okay, it's, holy cow, it's 18 minutes past 1 o'clock. We'll call the Marijuana Control Board back to order. We are still doing our roll call of licensees in pending inspection for over 6 months. So next on the list is Cloudberry Cannabis. The Shim app.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Cloudberry Cannabis. Okay, give them the benefit of the doubt for a couple of minutes. I guess Cloudberry Partners is probably also not there. Okay. Alaska Marijuana Gardens, Wild Coyote, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Hello?
Wild Coyote. Hello.
Wild Coyote, good afternoon.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you got your, we approved you in July of 2017, probably with delegation. You got your license in April of 2018. How are things coming along?
Actually, things are coming along pretty good right now. The project had a couple of delays with the engineers taking a while, and then we had to do some revisions with our drawings, but that's all done, and we're past that now, and hoping to be open here in about 5 months total.
5 months from now, you expect to be ready to go?
Yeah, we're hoping to have the doors open in about 5 months from now.
Okay, do you have any other hold-ups, permitting or anything?
Nope, all the permitting...
Probably not, a license issue for you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're just getting, got to get the building done and get everything in there and then call for inspection.
Okay, well, do us a favor and maybe in about 2 months, just in time for our May meeting.
Pre-rolls, there's no way we're putting that into...
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, pre-roll.
Okay. Cool. All right. We'll move on. Secret Garden Cannabis.
Thank you.
Thank you. You bet. Thank you. Secret Garden Cannabis, Axion Enterprises. You up there? James Martin, Secret Garden. Oh, right in front of us. Sure. Go ahead.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
So, store and a manufacturing facility. You got your license in October of 17 and August of 18. So what's going on?
All right, well, our team has been successfully navigating a very challenging municipal process, and we are getting very close to being able to call for final inspection. That said, we do have some lab equipment that is on its way. We've had some setbacks there on lead times and whatnot, but very excited to get that equipment installed, commissioned, then we'll be dealing with our final and fire CCO.
Yes, for all three.
We're just for manufacturing currently.
Oh, just for the manufacturing.
Tuesday, we were granted our CCO for cultivation and retail, pending a little bit of landscaping we're going to do in the spring, and also they will inspect the carbon dioxide system once it's loaded and ready to go. But they did approve our.
And you're waiting for those two to get going to get the retail open.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, the retail's on the list here also.
Right, and we're getting the NDA, which is the notice of zoning action for both the cultivation and retail first. So once everything is installed and ready for inspection, we'll be calling James to come on over.
So you think, what do you think?
Retail, we still have some FF&E to finish, but cultivation, I mean, we're talking about a number of weeks. I'm out of weeks here, of course. Anytime you're dealing with the fire department, and, you don't know what the setbacks might be. But we're working really diligently every day, and we're very
So by May meeting, we should have heard that you guys are up and running.
Absolutely.
Not on hold to do that. I'm just
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Turnagain Horticulture. Turn the phone back on.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay. Turnagain Horticulture, Anchorage. You out there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon. Okay, so you get your license issued in July of 2018, which ain't really that long ago. How are things coming?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Yeah, things are coming along quite nicely.
Please, can you identify yourself for us? I'm sorry.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Could you identify yourself for us?
Oh, absolutely. My name is Seth Mullen. I'm with Turnagain Horticulture Company.
Okay. Okay, Seth, thanks. So, how are things coming?
Very well. Very nicely. We're scheduled to begin operations later this summer.
Okay, so you actually may be about a year from license to inspection. So you may be about a year from license to inspection then.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, all right. Okay. You got no hold-ups, you see?
No, in fact, I'd rather under-promise and over-deliver, so we're actually hitting it harder than that, and I anticipate being open sooner than that. However, naturally, I don't want to paint myself into a corner.
Yeah, no, man, we're not asking you to get a paintbrush. Okay, very good. Thank you. We're just looking for an update.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you. Okay, Green Escape. Come on up.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Introduce yourself to us. Turn the microphone on. There you go.
Testing?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
Point it to yourself, yeah.
Okay.
Swing it over there towards yourself a little bit. There you go.
All right, thank you. John J. Heritzko, spelled Heritsko.
So you got your license in August. You got your license in August. How's this coming?
Good, sir. If it, your permission, I'd like to pass these packets out to the board.
We're not. I mean, we just need an update. I mean, have you got any holdups? You got your license, which means that you were permitted and you met all the delegation requirements. So you got some holdup you got to tell us about, or?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you can give those to us, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, look at this, progress report.
Mr. Chairman, if I may approach, I'm John's technical support.
Go right ahead if you want. Yep.
My name is John Heritzko as well, for the record. And
you guys
I'm
quit? Okay. Actually, no, I like this. This is a progress report, picture directory, so. So still need to power up, install the water system.
That's correct, sir.
That you think you'll have her done by 4th of July?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which means you'd be looking for inspection sometime in June, probably, huh?
I anticipate that, yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you're right on the year there. So, as far as, you know, hanging out for.
Thank you, sir. Maybe we'll be excused.
Yes, you may. Okay, Alaska Skunkworks in Talkeetna.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Alaska Skunkworks, you with us?
Yes, this is Andrea Gunter.
You have Mr. Wells for Alaska Skunkworks.
Hi, good afternoon. So you got your license in August 2018 for a standard cultivation. How are things coming along?
Things are going well. We've been really busy. When we talked to you, I just want to remind you that we were waiting for the snow to go away to pour concrete. Our building's a 7,200 square foot cultivation, so we've done that. We've poured the concrete. We stood up the metal building. It's shelled in. We've got our commercial septic. We've signed a contract with NEA for three-phase power, and we're moving on to the interior right now. We're putting up walls.
Okay, so what do you got for estimated time of arrival for everything being done?
We are hoping for August.
For when?
August.
All right. Okay. Well, that'll put you right at a year, so that's fine. Okay. Thank you for the update.
No problem. And I'll call in 2 months if you like updates.
Cool.
No problem.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Seaweed Farms. You with us?
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
So you're also within within a year.
I'm good. I should probably be calling for inspection within 2 weeks.
Sounds real good. Great. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, identify yourself to us.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you tell us who you are? Can you identify yourself?
Susan Burrow from Seaweed Farm.
Okay, thank you, Miss Burrow. Okay, that's all we needed to find out.
I will let you know.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, who really for Secret Garden in Anchorage. You up there? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we did. I didn't note that down. Oh, Cloudberry. Cloudberry Garden.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Are you up there? I'm just checking to see if they're back, if they came on. Okay, no problem. Okay. All right.
Did you want to ask for Temp LLC?
Oh, yeah. Temp, are you up there? Temp LLC? Okay, let's let them know that they really would behoove them to show us. All right. Now we are on to licenses in delegated status, which is a little bit different, as everybody knows. The Alaska Bean Brains. Are you online? Alaska Bean Brains. Okay. No sign of them. Tok Heavenly Cannabis. Is Tok Heavenly Cannabis online? Have we been able to get a hold of Tok Heavenly Cannabis?
We have not. This is the third meeting that we've requested their presence.
Okay. They were in the meeting in 2017 in Fairbanks, which we all remember because we were all so cozy. And you tried a couple of times to get hold of them, right?
I mean, we emailed them. We don't hear back from them.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, motion to rescind the license.
Rescind previous action.
Rescind the previous action on license number 1004.
Okay. For a second. Second. Okay, and this is based on essentially the fact that they've been out there for they'll be pushing 2 years with being in delegation and with no contact to the office. And again, rescinding it doesn't mean they can't come back and apply again. We're not going to hold that against. Okay, was there a second for that? Yes. Okay, second by Mr. Miller. Any discussion? Okay. Okay, then Mr. Jones? Yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Emmett? Yes. And I'll be a yes. So that is we rescinding the previous action.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
If we're gonna start doing things like that without,
Yeah.
I don't have any objection. I think they need to be here. But the one we just did previously, Alaska Bean Brains, this seemed to indicate that January of 2018, well over a year ago, said they'd be ready in 2 months.
Yep.
The municipality of Anchorage still protesting this one. Have we had anything from the municipality that they aren't?
No.
I guess then I would put in motion to rescind our previous action.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Okay, that's the license 10010. That's the Bean Brains. Any discussion on that? Okay, we'll vote on that. Mr. Jones? Yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Emmett? Yes. I'm a yes, so we rescind the previous action on license 10010. All right.
Little laminator card? No, she only brought in the big one. Yeah, it should be.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Okay, we are now looking for Henleys Happy Harvest, LLC.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Henleys Happy Harvest out there. They were waiting on fire marshal approval. They got their license a year ago. Well, they were approved a year ago. There's no delegation. Have we heard from them at all? All right. Okay. Well, let's let them know that we would. They should be. They're waiting for the fire marshal. It shouldn't take that long. So let's try to contact them. Let them know we want to hear from them. All right. Okay. Brown Owls Cultivation in Fairbanks. Are you online? Or here? Oh.
Hi, Jan Alstein, attorney for Brown Owls Cultivation. This is the licensee that was laid off from his slope, and so still recovering from that layoff, so working on getting financial ability to finish the mini grow.
Okay, it's limited.
Speaking of diversification of our economy.
Yeah. Okay, he's been out since September. Does he have any idea when he's gonna be back on his feet?
It really depends on if he gets retired. Still working on getting retired.
Okay.
Kind of a tough situation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just a limited backyard or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can hear something back in May, and maybe we'll take some action.
Okay.
All right. Okay. R.C.H. Cultivation in Fairbanks. Hold on.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, R.C.H. Cultivation. Charles Hinilika or Ryan Alston. Okay. No sign of them. They're just waiting on the city Fairbanks protest. All right. Fox Creek LLC. Fairbanks. You out there? Very standard. Fox Creek LLC.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi, this is Miguel Espinosa with Fox Creek LLC.
Okay, identify yourself again for us so we can get on the record.
Miguel Espinosa with Fox Creek LLC.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Espinosa.
Hi, this is Jason Brandeis. I'm the attorney for Fox Creek. I just got disconnected.
Okay, hi, Mr. Brandeis. First time we hear from you this meeting. All right, so you've been waiting on fire marshal approval and DEC approval?
Yeah, and if I can speak to that, there's the licensee had a couple of issues with DEC approval, and they were working with DEC. There was a contractor that they were working with who passed away, so that slowed things down a little bit. And they believe that they are back on track right now. They're working with DEC. They're going to have some wastewater test results back in the next couple of weeks. They've got a new contractor that can start on their septic system as soon as the ground thaws enough. They believe they can be fully operational within 6 months.
Okay, so you think you'll be ready to go next month, say?
No, sorry, I said within 6 months, and that's mostly just due to weather. They're not sure if they're going to be able to install the new septic system, given.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Thank you for coming and giving us this update. Just ask one more time. Brown Owl. Oh no, we did them. R.C.H. Yeah. Henleys Happy Harvest. You guys out there? And AK Bean Break. None of the above. Okay.
I'm ready to put her in here in a minute.
All right, go ahead and kill the phone off.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. It sounded like that. Can I say something? Yeah. Okay, so we are on to tab 41, board consideration. Actually, we are making pretty decent time. We only have 106 tabs. So, board consideration, Director.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. License 15209, Urban Legends, LLC. This is a listing situation. There is a retail store located at the location of this proposed license, 2771 Sherwood Lane, Juneau, that was approved by the board in October of 2018. And we, after the October board meeting, we received a comment from a Juneau resident that both the Mason Jar and the Urban Legends application were proposed to be located across the street from the Awakened Church at 2770 Sherwood Lane. We looked into the situation and found that the Mason Jar, the retail store, had submitted all of their application documents and were moved into the queue on March 12th of 2018. The Awakened Church signed a lease for the property 770 Sherwood Lane on April 1st, 2018, which was after we had received all the application documents for the Mason Jar. But the application documents for Urban Legends were not fully submitted and moved into the queue until 2018. The City and Borough of Juneau has waived its right to protest both the Mason Jar and Urban Legends, of course at different times. Investigator Johnson went to this location and took measurements. And if you measure straight across the road, it's 286 feet from door to door, which is less than the required 500-foot separation in 3 AAC 306-010. However, if you go down to the nearest intersection and cross at the stop sign and back to the door of the retail shop, the distance is more than double the 500-foot separation distance. An inquiry to the City and Borough of Juneau as to whether or not they evaluate the separation distance for compliance with 3 AAC 306-010 was responded to with the information just that they had waived the right to protest for the Mason Jar on the consent agenda with no discussion. So it's not entirely clear to me whether the City and Borough of Juneau looks at the separation distance. From my background at the municipality of Anchorage, when I was at the municipality, we were looking at the issue of what is the shortest pedestrian distance, because the board has never really defined that. And what we did at the city was we looked at the city's code where it was legal to cross and created a definition for shortest pedestrian route based on that. The City and Borough of Juneau's code regarding pedestrian crossings does say that a pedestrian crossing a roadway at a point other than within a marked crosswalk or within an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection shall yield the right-of-way to all given roadway, but it does not appear to be illegal to what we commonly refer to as jaywalking. So it's a difficult situation because you have an existing marijuana store directly across the street from a church which came in afterwards, but technically it does appear that the cultivation facility submitted their application after the church was in place.
Okay. So the mason jar is the store, right?
Yes, the mason jar is the
Yeah,
store.
so they're grandfathered in under our regulations.
Yes.
Okay. Is this a church that regular religious services are held in? Do they meet our definition of church?
As far as I can tell, I mean, I'm not a resident of this community, but as far as I can tell, yes.
Okay, all right, that's fine. And church store, the back door of the retail shop. I'm not recalling, like I ever would, the floor plan of Herbs and Legends. Is somebody here from Herbs and Legends? Yeah, I see. Please come up. I'm sorry, we should have invited them. Come on up and introduce yourselves. Turn the microphone on. There you go.
I am Jake Miller, and this is my wife Taylor Miller of Urban Legends.
Okay, good afternoon. You guys are you part of the Mason Jar also?
No.
You're not? Okay. All right, so you don't have a...
I have all the guys.
You got all the guys. Okay, that might be helpful. Okay, let's grow. Main entrance faces onto St. Teresa's Church.
You can't even see our main entrance from the main road.
Cannot. Okay, but I mean foot-wise.
We access it from the front of the building. We walk around the side. The entrance to Urban Legends is on the side of the same building.
The entrance to Urban Legends, the entrance to the Mason Jar. Where's the Mason Jar on here? What is this? I'm drag these wires on my foot.
The mason jar is here.
That's the Mason Jar there. Okay, and that's their entrance.
Yep.
Right? So where's the street is in question? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. You're number one on here? Number one, 279. Okay, so where's the church on here?
The church is actually across the street, right in this area.
Church is over there.
Mm-hmm.
And so your door is where? There?
Our door is actually facing right between these two buildings.
Okay, right between, see what number 3 is, but do we have a protest from the church?
No, we do not.
We don't. Okay. Are they aware of your desire to have a licensed cultivator there?
Yes, they are.
Have you spoken to them?
No.
You haven't, but you know they're aware of it.
They've been notified.
Everybody's been notified.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Investigator Johnson also spoke to, he's not here now, but he did speak to the church, so they are aware.
Okay. All right. Here, let's pass these down. So our big issue here is the separation distance. Mr. Jones, can you shed any light from your perspective on with the city and borough?
Yes, it was before us. We waived our right to protest. I don't believe there was anything in our material at the time about separation of the church. Generally, we wouldn't have done that if they did not already have their conditional use permit. And if our planning commission and there was no protest to the issuance of the conditional use permit on a new business, there wouldn't be any tax issues. So the assembly would not have been in any discussion of this unless it had been brought to our attention, and it was not.
Okay. And the church, are they in a multiple use building?
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nobody here from the Awakened Church, is there by any chance? Let me turn the phone on for a second.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, this is the Marijuana Control Board. We're looking at a license for Herbs and Legends, and was specifically wondering, is there anybody online from the Awakened Church in Juneau? Doesn't appear to be. Okay, thank you.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Okay. Good. So you guys do have a conditional use permit already?
Yeah.
When was that issued? How should I say, when did you apply for that?
January 23rd of 2018.
Yeah.
And the Awakened Church is not permitted to be there. We did check with the city of Juneau, city of Bro Juneau, and they confirmed that they are not permitted.
You need a permit to be a church?
They
need an occupancy permit. I mean, what do you think? Because even cathedrals have fire marshal signs.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have, if you noticed, I mean, maybe you haven't, do they have regularly scheduled services in there that you're aware of?
Every Sunday they put out a sign out on the street with their name on it. I don't know their schedule.
Okay, so apart from that, I just, for the record, I'm not suggesting that I'm picking on the church or trying to skirt, what our regulations say. This is we're in kind of the same boat as we are with youth centers. Okay. All right. Let me just toss this off to my fellow board members while I catch my breath.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would motion to approve the license.
Is there a second?
I'll second. But I have more questions. And so my reasoning for that is that there's a somewhat ambiguous definition of direct pedestrian route here in Juneau. That there's already an operating retail marijuana store, and the church has not taken issue with that very visible marijuana facility, and so it seems reasonable that they would take less issue with a much less visible marijuana facility, so long as that marijuana cultivation facility didn't create a lot of smell and bother the church.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I just wanted clarification. You said you were issued or applied for your conditional use permit on January 23rd, 2018?
January 23rd was the hearing date, and we got...
Oh, fine.
Okay.
And then, in Anchorage, we've had hundreds of robust discussions about pedestrian routes and how they're measured. And, I believe a pedestrian route is to go down to the intersection or the nearest crosswalk and cross.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to run across the traffic, that's, hey, your choice, but it's dangerous and you shouldn't be doing it. So the fact that they got their conditional use permit on January 23rd, and it looks like the church signed their lease on April 1st, I feel like conditional use process and all the public notices and hearings that, are required, there was ample notice for them that if they were concerned or looking for a place to lease, they would have seen those notices or at least asked somebody about them. So I do support it just because they had applied for their conditional use permit first and prior to lease being signed.
Mr. Jones, any comment?
No, other than Most of the land around there is industrial zone. There was an asphalt plant there. State Department of Motor Vehicles offices is across the street. Been subdivided land. They're really close to the fire training center that the fire department operates. Sherwood Lane doesn't necessarily get a lot of pedestrian traffic, a lot of commercial traffic during the day. I think Awakened Church is a new group of missionaries in the Juneau, and there are probably 10 or 12 citizens, that meet on Sundays. One meets in the back behind Foodland grocery store that has a liquor store in it. That's it took over an old warehouse and meets on Sundays. So it's been a difficult issue for the assembly to deal with, and we have zoned that. I have real objections. What I have major objections to is retail. We allow retail not in commercial areas or residential areas, but we're having trouble with commercial properties going into industrial zones. But our planning commission continues to approve those, and without protest, the assembly can't do anything. So I don't see this as a high traffic area in terms of pedestrians going across. At the same time, it is very industrialized, and if somebody wants to put a church in there, you're probably a quarter of a mile from the Mormon church. If you were to walk, there's a Baptist church across the Glacier Highway. That would be much more than 500 feet. So there's probably 2 or 3 other religious organizations that probably meet much more regularly than this church would do. But it's something we've struggled with in terms of our law department and our CED, and if we don't have the same separations and whether or not we would enforce the state rules when we issue a conditional use permit or not. And we had some with our retail downtown and with the Southeast Regional Resource Center, whether they were school or not. And our planning commission has been struggling with that one in particular. So it's a difficult issue for us right now within the city. We don't, I think if a police officer saw somebody scooting across the street from that park over to DMV, they probably wouldn't cite them. They probably lose out if they got hit by a car and try to sue the driver for hitting them because he shouldn't have crossed there. But that's a different matter. So I do think there is some issues here in the sense of, since they're not connected with the Mason Jar, this is a new application, and the timing is questionable, but I guess if we don't have any protests, there's probably not much we could do at this point.
Okay, great. Look to Miss Milks. We recorded enough record, you think?
I think you've recorded about as many facts as you have.
Yeah.
I don't have any particular legal...
Oh, no, I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for that, no. Okay, cool. We're ready to vote? Okay, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Emmett?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so there you go.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, and then Releaf, the Happy Farmer.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. This is a retail store application located in Anchorage. The proposed licensee is the Happy Farmer LLC, which is an entity 100% owned by Lori Brandt. The Happy Farmer LLC also owns Releaf, Alaska, which is located right next to the proposed location of this retail store. According to their website, Releaf, Alaska provides professional and confidential medical cannabis evaluations and education in Anchorage, Alaska. Releaf, Alaska also advertises that for $150, they can provide authorization for a higher plant count, that they can authorize an individual to have 24 plants rather than the 6 that is allowed per person by AS 1738-020 and AS 1737-040. A year and a half ago, in August of 2017, I sent Ms. Brandt a letter informing her that there was no legal basis for her offer of a higher plant count and that she could be defrauding Alaskans. I received no response. As you can see from the attached screenshot of her website that was taken last week, she continues to offer a higher plant count for a $150 fee. So for at least a year and a half and quite likely longer, Ms. Brandt has been misinforming Alaskans and certainly causing many who gave her money to unknowingly break the law. And she has continued to do that despite being informed. And I don't think that it is in the public interest for an individual such as this to hold a marijuana license. My recommendation to the board is that you deny this license.
Mr. Chair, I would support the director in not issuing this individual license. I have heard her in public saying exactly that, and I corrected her at one point. I think it is. Hold on. Let's see if she's on the line here.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, this is the Marijuana Control Board, and we are looking for Releaf, Alaska.
Good afternoon. This is Mr. Wells, and I'm in my office with Ms. Brandt. Respectfully, I received a copy of this letter. It was filed yesterday, and having just received it yesterday and had very little time to respond to it, I was going to respectfully ask to table this meeting today until the May meeting so I can have a chance to review that letter yesterday with my client and respond to it accordingly.
Do we have... When did you send the letter?
I sent her a letter in August of 2017.
Okay. And you just got Mr. Wells.
I'm referring to the letter that was filed by Ms. McConnell dated February 20th of 2019. It was filed yesterday as a memorandum with the package to the board. I just received that yesterday, and I'm still developing the issues surrounding this with my client. And based on this letter of Ms. McConnell, I'm asking to table this until the next go-around.
He's talking about the
board memo. And that's been on the website since when?
Well, it's possible that this was only posted on Tuesday because of the holiday and...
Yeah, it was just put on there Tuesday. It's dated February 20th.
Okay, well, we had well, thank you for that. We have a board member who's prepared to make a motion, which we need to have anyway to talk about business. So, what was your motion again, Mr. Emmett? My motion would be to deny the application. Is there a second? Second? Okay, motion by Mr. Emmett and seconded by Mr. Miller to deny the application. So we'll have some discussion on it. We'll get back to you, Mr. Wells.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I take a couple issues with this application. One, she's like muddling Raven and Alaskan medical marijuana law. I think it is unfair to people who may not be incredibly educated in the process to think that if they pay her $150 that somehow they'll be legally allowed to have this number of plants when that's not written into Alaska's medical marijuana law. That was the Raven decision, which says it's an affirmative defense. You're not actually legal to possess that. They just can't come after you unless they, quote unquote, have reasonable evidence that you have more than that many plants in your home. And then this is kind of teetering on the same issue that we've seen with some of these businesses that claim to be legit and were not, essentially, are potentially selling marijuana without a license. So I think Ms. Brandt's been trying to work around the regulations for a long time and should definitely not be granted a license because of that.
Okay. Anybody else have any update to add?
Sure.
Go right ahead.
I think the other concern that I had noted when I was reviewing this, since we don't get the memo till afterwards, I had read all of the applications. My biggest concern was that the retail portion in the premises diagram was relatively small. It was difficult to determine exactly how you would enter and leave because a lot of the other parts of the area were not considered part of the retail, but they are marked out for their CBD business, coffee bar, and while I know that there's a lot of nuances and things like that, but, you know, the state did pass a hemp bill, and it did put restrictions on there, and while we don't have any say over it, it's still my understanding that selling CBD oil is without it being part of DNR, they haven't done the rules yet, is still not legal. And so for that reason, I was going to really question this application and either have that removed or was going to go because of, you know, laying it out that way that this was the consult room and this was the CBD business. So I think that needs to get on the record too, and I'm going to support the denial motion.
Okay, thank you. Let's go turn the phone on for a second.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, Mr. Wells, you've been able to hear all that so far. Are you still with us, Mr. Wells?
Yes, sir, we are.
All right, you've been able to hear everything that's been said so far?
Yes, sir, I have.
I got a question on the diagram here. This cultivate that's shown on here, that's proposed?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, okay. Yeah,
She was planning on putting a limited cultivation into the premises.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I share the concerns about the CBD. Well, part of the CBD business being there, and also the ongoing issue of essentially offering. I think you should probably talk to your client. I would venture that her suggestion that what she was selling for $150, could be construed as legal advice. So I'm going to also, based on the public interest concern, I'm going to also be voting to deny this license. So are we ready to vote? Okay, in the matter of the denial of license applicant license 17961 Releaf, Happy Farm LLC retail marijuana store, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Emmett? Yes. And I'm a yes. So that license application is denied.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Okay, moving right along to new licenses. Wake Northern Cultivation. Wake Northern Cultivation.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, we're looking for Wake Northern Cultivation. That's for a new standard license. Cultivation. Is Wake Northern Cultivation on the line?
Yes, hi, this is Jason Brandeis. I'm the attorney for Great Northern Cultivation, and John Redden, a representative representing the corporation, is on the phone.
Good afternoon, members of the board.
Good afternoon. I'm mistaken. I got a spring grist with this application, because half of it is financial disclosures. All right. So, Director?
Mr. Chair, you don't usually have me review
Well, I see.
new applications.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just, okay, yeah, I get this is a protest from the municipality pending the license. So, Mr. Brandeis, how's that coming along?
Good. We're working through the municipal process. Anchorage is, it takes a little while, but everything's on track.
Okay.
understand that at times counsel and applicants are going to need to be available at the same time via phone, but if one of you is speaking and the other one is not currently speaking, please make sure you are not on your speakerphone. You speak clearly into the mic, and whoever is not speaking, put your phone on mute so that we can hear you.
Yes, sir. I am not going to support this application as it's currently written. I think, and my major concern is if you go back to page 2 of 7 of the MJ04 form, it talks about in here that this facility will be built in 2 phases as follows. During phase 1 of the build-out, no cultivation will take place at the facility. The facility will only be used to package marijuana produced by other licensed cultivators. Marijuana flower and trim will be manifested, transferred, and received from other licensed cultivators to the proposed Arctic Boulevard facility where it will be packaged for sale. In addition to packaging flower and trim, will be packaged and may be processed into pre-rolled joints. Keep leftover will also be collected and packaged. We're basically being asked to approve a standard cultivation in which there will be no cultivation. They could have applied for a manufacturing license. They could have applied for retail, but they're applying for cultivation. If they say we're going to do very limited growing in phase 1, but we want license for the full facility, and we'll grow out into the floor space as we are successful, I can understand that. But basically they're saying that they want a cultivation license and they're not going to cultivate. They're going to package for resale things from their other cultivation facility and other cultivators. And I realize that we're allowed to transfer from cultivator to cultivator, but we envision that to be sharing of plants, of strains to grow it. This, in fact, is not a cultivation application, and so based on their own words, there's no way I can support this application.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
So I appreciate Mr. Jones' perspective. Mr. Brandeis did come and talk to me about this, and we reviewed AS 1738, all the following acts when performed by marijuana cultivation facility with the current Valley administration are not necessarily unlawful. That includes cultivating, manufacturing, harvesting, processing, packaging, transporting, and possessing marijuana. For their phase 1, they are planning to process and package and possess marijuana, and those seem to be rights under a cultivation facility license. We would expect to me that they were only going to be doing this from one of their other cultivation facilities. I don't remember being aware that they were planning on taking harvest from other licensees that they didn't own, but I had indicated to them that they appeared to be doing acts that were allowed by statute. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it just seems that that's a significant amount of work, both in metric for our enforcement staff, issues of diversion, bother me considerably. We have enough issues where cultivators shift to retail and then suddenly retail says, well, due to water loss or shrinkage or whatever, we have, 6 ounces less because we forgot to weigh. And when it says in here, other licensed cultivators, although it does say primarily from their other license to the process. And then we're talking about seed leftover operations. So pivoting the product and repackaging that and then
we do have that.
Falling off.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
I think it's going to be a metric nightmare, and it's going to be an enforcement nightmare. And maybe they have to do that within their current facility, but to transfer all of that and then have to redo all of that in metric, I just wouldn't want to be the enforcement people that try to track all that stuff. So I appreciate that maybe the law allows that, but I'm having real problems with this.
Sure, Mr. Chair. So overall, I do support the license. This speaks directly to an issue that the industry has right now. One of my previous comments was about hubbing, having a place where you can actually take marijuana and store it, potentially package it for sale, or it can stay overnight while your driver rests, something like that. And so I don't think what they're trying to do here is outside the realm of reality. It's certainly contemplated in 17.38. The one issue I do have, though, is where they talk about collecting the keef and repackaging that. I think in a previous discussion we had stated that if you're concentrating the keef and repackaging it, then that is manufacturing. Where if it's just a byproduct of trimming, it has to go back in with the marijuana. Because if the marijuana is not being grown and processed there, it's already been processed. By definition, they wouldn't be allowed to package keef that had separated. They'd have to keep the keef in whatever product it had fallen off of to not be considered manufacturing. So that is one change that I would ask for in here, because I don't think that particular process they're speaking of fits inside of the cultivation regulation. I could put the Ms. Milks there for some legal interpretation on that.
That's my recollection as well, with respect to keys.
Okay, Mr. Brandeis, just turn the phone back on.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Okay, Mr. Brandeis, your client heard Mr. Jones's comments. I'm looking at the diagram on which page is it? It's the one that shows Phase 1 and Phase 2. You're applying for a license that would encompass everything in Phase 1 and Phase 2. So you can't get a license until you've been inspected. What would you anticipate would be there for enforcement to inspect? Just a bunch of walls and tables, or not all the walls, or I mean, you're asking for a license for a standard cultivation, large building, 3, 4, 5, 6 flower rooms. Will all those be in place but not being used when you get inspected, or you just want to start with Phase 1 and then go to Phase 2?
Yeah, so I apologize if the diagrams are not clear. This was a little tricky. An application was a little tricky to put together. The intent is that only the Phase 1 space will be ready and available for inspection. All of the Phase 2 space is going to be sealed off and it won't be built out. We included it in the premises diagram just to be able to give the board a clear picture of where this project is going. So that's basically just the rest of the building, and the Phase 1 space is what will be available and ready.
Right, but you're asking us for a license for the Phase 1 area and the sealed off space that would be Phase 2, correct?
No, we're just asking for the Phase 1. The Phase 2 would be, we would submit a premises diagram change and an operating plan change when we were ready to licensing for the Phase 2.
Mr. Chair, if you recall, when we did some significant form changes in February of last year, if you look on page 2 of the MJOQ packet, we asked applicants to show, if they knew that they weren't going to be using their whole space, but they were planning to expand in the future, we asked them to show everything, but clarify what they were going to be using immediately and what they may be moving into the future, but that wasn't ready to be licensed yet.
Okay. That's helpful. When do you anticipate, you currently anticipate no cultivation in your phase 1 area? I mean, I see you don't have any grow space. You got dry, and trim.
With a cultivation license, we certainly have the ability to do cultivation, but the build-out will not include cultivating processes right now. So if we were going to change it to do cultivation, we'd submit appropriate documentation for that. So at the beginning, it's going to be a functional facility. There'll be office space. There will be packaging, packaging equipment. It's a workplace. It's a cultivation facility, just without actually cultivating it at the moment. And as has been explained, as the director mentioned, this is covered, this is allowable under statute and under the regulations.
Okay, and notice, note, as has been noted before, that you're a little bit breaking up, but then we get the better gist of that. So the first word that came to mind is broker. Are you planning on just using, are you planning on processing marijuana from your other cultivate, or are you planning on purchasing?
That's the main intention, that Great Northern can process its own package and take care of its own marijuana that it grows at its other facility. We wrote the application to provide the ability to do packaging for other cultivators if that's contemplated by the regulation. But the intention for now is to just do in-house work.
Anybody else got questions? We're going along here. Okay, I guess if you're going to be packaging other people's product, are you going to be buying it, or are you going to be doing that processing on contract? Are you going to be, labeling it as your own? What's your plan there?
I don't have a good answer to that question right now.
It's icy here in Juneau, so we know about slippery slopes today, so we're just trying to...
Right. And I certainly want to mention I appreciate Mr. Jones' comment about metric tracking and diversion. And, Great Northern has a very system in place for tracking its product. It has been an exemplary member of industry so far. We plan to continue to comply with all of the regulations. In terms of how Great Northern is going to conduct business, whether it's on a contract basis or purchasing products outright from other cultivators, I just don't know what those plans are at this point. But I think either one of those things are permitted under the statute.
Okay, and then we've talked in the past about mixing office space up. You've got the second floor of your building that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 offices in it. Just out of mild curiosity, what's that all that office space for? It's part of your licensed premises.
Yeah, it's part of the licensed premises. Those are offices for employees of the company who will be working at the facility, or who are. We're not really totally sure, I think, what that space is going to be used for yet, other than just general.
Okay, but you'll have to have a marijuana handler's card to work in one of those offices.
Correct, absolutely. It's licensed premises, only employees, agents of the company, people with handler cards will be able to access that space.
So, I mean, some of that office space, I'm not trying to dig into your business plan, but I mean, you've got a lot of partners. Maybe some of that office space would be available for the partners and as owners and part of the license, but not necessarily having to do with activity in the facility.
Actually, if I may through the chair. This is John Redden, General Counsel of Great Northern Cannabis. You know, we have, at this moment, upwards of 85 employees at 4 different locations, and we do need an increasing number of space for managers and other personnel that are actively working within the organization to have office space. And so, primarily, those office spaces would be used for managers or people associated with the cultivation side of our operation.
Okay, that explains a lot. That's fine. That's fine, but I'm good on that. Okay, any more questions, Mr. Jones? Does this ease any of your concerns? No. Understandable. Okay, I don't think though that
Mr. Chair, I mean, not to be belabor and they couldn't see me shaking my head, but this did not appease me. But I think the issues that are being brought up with this application, both ones that they have spoken to about, you know, they have 4 businesses, they have a lot of managers in the office space. You know, if the industry grows in that way beyond this, then, you know, you can have nations sort of set up that way where you can have corporate headquarters and 5 licensed places, and managers of those 5 places spend half their time at corporate headquarters and half their time at cultivation or retail. I don't know that we anticipate that when we talk about regards to where records are kept and those kinds of things.
The council tonight, and
I know we had talked about, Mr. Emmett had brought up the idea of a hub kind of thing. I appreciate that. I don't want to get to the spot where cultivators could have A1 packaging process, where they would bring all their stuff in and somebody else would package it for them and distribute that. I don't know if we're ready for that, but those are the kind of issues that are brought up with this level of application with 35 owners, 45 owners. Trying to figure out who owned what was an amazing process, and I'm almost positive I didn't get it all right. I didn't get much of it right. So I still have those concerns for those reasons, and so, you know, short of denial, you know, if there's a way to you know, get this rewritten or redone in a manner that's maybe clearer, rather than outright, you know, vote no, but if we think we want to approve this today, I would still be a no vote.
What would you, and again, we've had the issue of shared office space between, you know, 2 licenses in the same building. Now we're talking about essentially shared office space, and again, please correct the council, this office space would serve the entire Great Northern Galaxy. Is that?
No, I don't think that's exactly accurate. Honestly, we have had an issue with sort of taking sort of micro steps in sort of our growth. And so at the moment, not every one of those offices, do we have personnel to office within them. We have a corporate counsel outside of our licensed facilities. These offices would be intended at this time to only be for the personnel that would actually be on site for the licensed facility there. And so it is more office space than what we need. However, we're not intending to, you know, rent out or allow even shareholders within our organization, frankly, to have offices if they're not actively involved within the cultivation portion of the of our operation.
Well, no, that's not what I meant. I meant, for example, you might have an HR director in there.
No, and frankly, that's what I'm saying is we have corporate offices elsewhere. HR would not be there. that would only be for, it's licensed for cultivation, it's licensed for the packaging, that portion of our operation only.
Yeah, and obviously when you get the phase 2 going, that'd be a going concern, and you would need some room.
Exactly, and the office space at our other cultivation location is actually quite small, and so we do need sort of a better situation for the persons that are overseeing that part of our operation.
Yeah. Would the manufacturing be using any of that office space?
I think manufacturing has, which is in the same facility as you're aware, manufacturing has a small office which they would be using on their own. I'm not sure whether or not there would be some shared use of that with it, any sort of, depending on how that part of our operation was to grow. I don't have a definite answer on that question.
All right, we'll shut the phone off again just to...
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
Would you have any specific delegation for, adjustment to this application that you would like to see? Because no matter how you vote, we would be happy to make delegation.
I think the delegation would be way too long. But this does have an active protest from the municipality, so I'm not sure if the motion is to approve with delegation, because then we always have to rescind our previous action and put it in abeyance. So I'm not exactly sure what the formal motion is, but I assume it would be to, how do you approve it and deny it? Motion. But I think any delegation that I would have in terms of how I would like to see this rewritten and redone might be way too long.
Okay. I think what we would do is we would vote to deny with abeyance, right? Can I ask a question? Go ahead.
I do have a question. The area that you're asking to get approved now, I assume you're going to move product over to the manufacturing. How do you plan on getting it there?
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
Well, I think are you talking about the manufacturing facility that is next door? How would we move product from one location to the other?
Yes.
Well, so the way we intend to use that facility prior to the second phase is simply to have the product that needs to be trimmed and packaged for sale within our retail stores or wholesale to be done there within that area that we will have set aside for packaging and trim. Product that would need to go to manufacturing would go directly from our other cultivator license to manufacturing. It would be manifested as such and tracked from that licensee to the manufacturing licensee. I don't see the need for us to send product to the location for trimming and processing and then to go to manufacturing. But if that were the case, simply we would manifest, from the first cultivator license to the second cultivator license, and then if it would need to go to manufacturing at some point, it could be manifested from the proposed license to the manufacturing license, and it wouldn't go through the building. It would leave the garage door just like the other product. There's not going to be sort of a pass-through per se for product between one licensee, the cultivating license, and the manufacturing license. Does that answer your question?
It does. And where would you be packaging? Because I see dry, trim, secure storage, quarantine.
It would be in the area, the trim area.
And if I could clarify, that's identified as trim/packaging for the more descriptive pages. It just says trim on the diagram.
Okay, any other questions? Then we will entertain a motion to deny application 17346 with, will 90 days advance get you through the, municipality process? Or do you need more than that?
We just submitted, so I believe 90 days should be sufficient.
Okay, so we'll entertain a motion to deny license 17346.
If we deny it, why do we need it?
With abeyance for 90 days, and then they can, how do we word that, with abeyance, a delegation, or just abeyance? 90 days.
I think you'd say, uphold the protest and
Yeah,
deny the
uphold the
90-day
protest, yes.
abeyance. Should the protest be lifted, we would require the following changes before the director is allowed to issue a license, and then state what they want.
Okay. Anybody see any changes that they want? No.
Not as long as before, but I think Mr. Emmett was looking at one, and that's their treatment of keef. And so I think as part of the delegation, they would need to reword and come into compliance with how they're handling keef. As part of that, I think it was on the MJ04, that same page 2 of 7.
So, how would you encompass all of that into a motion then? Move to uphold the protest. Yeah, move to uphold, so we deny the license, uphold the protest with a 90-day abeyance, and
Should the protest be lifted, the board requires that the page 2 of the MJ04 be adjusted to come into compliance regarding how they will be able to keep talking.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's the motion then. Okay, is there a second? Second by Mr. Miller. Okay, then in the motion to uphold the protest and deny with 90-day abeyance, and fix keys in those in the 04. Yeah, should the protest be lifted? Right. Mr. Jones?
No.
Okay. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Emmett? Yes. And I'll vote yes, so. 3-1, you're denied with abeyance. So, there you go.
Thank you, members. Have a good day.
Okay, Bristol Bay Bud Company.
This is Heather Allen for Bristol Bay Bud Company.
Hi, this is Jason Brandeis again, representing Bristol Bay Bud Company.
All right, good afternoon. We have a motion for license 17452, standard cultivation for Bristol Bay Bud Company.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, motion to approve license number 17452, Bristol Bay Bud Company, LLC, with delegation.
Second. Okay, so Mr. Miller. Okay, Mr. Brandeis, your clients introduce themselves to us.
Yeah. Heather, why don't you go ahead?
Go ahead.
Heather Allen with Bristol Bay Bud Company.
All right, and we gave you a retail license, right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay. For Dillingham.
Mm-hmm.
And this cultivate is going to be in Wasilla?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and pretty much to feed your store.
Yes, sir. That is.
All right. How's the store coming along?
We've had a small medical emergency, so it slowed us down a little bit, but it looks like we should be open in May.
I know. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Thank you.
All right. Who owns the property that this is going on? You?
My business, partners, Gordon and Susan Isaac.
They're also licensed.
Also licensee.
Okay. All right, any questions on Bristol Bay Bud Company? Okay, not hearing any questions, I guess we'll vote for license 17452, Bristol Bay Bud Company LLC, Standard Cultivation, Las Sola. Mr. Jones? Yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Emmett? Yes. I mean, yes, so there you go.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, Bro Budz LLC in Houston.
We are on the line. This is Mr. Wells with Mr. Lowenstein.
All right, good deal. Go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what you're all about.
My name is Alexander Lowenstein, Bro Budz.
Okay.
Outdoor cultivation.
Outdoor cultivation. Okay, are you a farmer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you grow usually?
Cabbage. This is what I've always grown, sir.
What have you always grown?
Just kind of vegetables. I've always been a gardener.
Okay, vegetable. Okay, cool. All right, are you offsetting any of your vegetable growing to for the cannabis?
Not until I'm licensed, sir.
All right.
Good answer.
Yeah, run it by us again.
Sorry, we didn't hear you.
Okay, so you're this is a separate operation from your vegetable garden.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Can we make sure he's not on?
Yeah, are you on a speakerphone?
We are.
Yes, we are. Sir.
All right. Why don't you go and it's speakerphone is not working that good, so maybe. All right. Yes, sir.
In the staff memo, it talks about additional corrections are required for the MJ02 premises diagram. I didn't have any questions on that, although it did talk about this was an outdoor grow. But then back in the MJ04, it talked about hoop, greenhouse air monitoring controlled and fans and filters, which I guess maybe a greenhouse is considered an outdoor grow, but if you have a closed greenhouse that has filters and airflow fans, is that really outdoor grow? But I would like to know from staff what they've identified as the MJ02 changes that need to be done, because I'm not sure I'm aware of which one.
Through the chair, Mr. Jones, we were notified by the City and Borough of Houston that apparently the north arrow on the diagrams isn't actually facing north. So we are asking the applicant or asking the board to direct the applicant to correct the diagrams to put the north arrow in the proper direction.
Okay. And
it will be done.
I couldn't tell you which north or south anyway.
Yeah, the magnetic north pole is moving really fast anyway. Okay, Mr. Lawrence, on your premises diagram, this property here, this is not your residence, is it?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is but you own this property, this lot?
Yes, sir, I do. I own it.
Okay, and your vegetable garden is somewhere else?
Yes, my vegetable garden is at my house.
I hear a baby.
Not ours.
Okay, yeah, so I guess you're calling it an outdoor grow. It's going to be inside hoop houses that are essentially greenhouses. You got a fence up there, right?
Everything is, we have a fence up, yes.
Fence, yeah. Okay, what are you doing, since you're not living there, what are you going to be doing for security?
We have a motorhome bus that we park there.
With somebody staying in it?
So we're gonna be living on the premises.
Okay. And this is gonna be seasonal for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, if you have you followed the, I guess it's not a pejorative word, the saga of our other major outdoor grower and some of the issues that have come up as far as maybe a hoop house might fall down, and it says it's part of the licensed premises and part of the facility. We'd like to know, even if it happens in February, have you been following that at all? Have you, Rosie Creek, watching how he's been doing things up there?
This is Mr. Wells. We have followed Rosie Creek as well as the farm that was down in Houston, and are aware of the happenings surrounding both of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. And what are you planning on growing for? Is this you got any particular market in mind?
The retail market, local Houston area, and the Valley area as well.
All right. Any other questions?
Is this basically seasonally going to get shut down, or what's your plan?
Yes, sir. Well, it's a seasonal grow.
Bears come in and tear it up.
Okay. And this is something for us. Have we decided how we deal with these seasonal cultivations when they shut down for the winter, and the cameras, and if there's product on premise that might be in the office but not growing? I'm sorry.
Just so you're aware, the cameras and everything will still be up and running during the winter time. The marijuana growing itself will cease, but the facility itself will still be maintained. The hoop house, the coverings on the hoop houses will be removed for the winter time, and no marijuana cultivation will occur. Everything will stay in place other than the marijuana and the coverings on the hoop houses.
And I don't think the board really has figured that out.
No, we haven't. I'm sorry about it.
Good. Yeah, I was going to touch on that. So you have a hoop house, you don't have any marijuana growing it, and then after it's too cold to grow, you take it all down. They're still required to maintain the cameras. That definitely creates some challenges. So I think that's something that this board should address, is a growing off season for the growers, and a regulation probably to address that. I don't want to hash that out right now, but it's going to continue to be an issue for licensees like this gentleman.
Okay, just one more question I got. As you harvest in preparation to selling, what do you have for this little small A building? Are you going to use that Connex number E? Where are you going to be doing your drying and preparation for sale?
I don't want a whole thing.
It's all going to be dried and cured in that on diagram. It's the Connex.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Ready to vote? All right. For license,
I don't think we have a motion.
Oh, we don't have a motion. Yeah, we need a motion.
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve license number 18516 Bro Budz LLC with delegation, and the corrections on the MJ02 diagram.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Mr. Miller. Any other discussion? All right. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Rabbit?
Yes.
I'll vote yes, so there you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Which brings us to new limited marijuana cultivation facility applications. We need a 5-minute break, or when we take our last break?
I would.
Yeah, we'll take a 5-minute break. Which you know what that'll turn out to be. It'll be 10. Yeah, 18. Well, I gotta be back up the hill.
Meeting up
That's all
there?
done, 'cause it's short.
That's fine, huh? You got a meeting up there?
I have it up.
Cool.
Okay, what's this? Suddenly you recognize legal marijuana. We'll point it. Yeah, he's already done a couple. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Becky. She had a nice picture of me.
Yeah, she writes a lot of bullshit.
She had a nice picture of me.
Stories.
So, you know. Well, you think it'll be done by tomorrow? Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe I take a 20-minute lunch break. Who here is for a limited cultivation? Raise your hands. Limited. Anybody got a new limited application? Just the one, huh? Well, call all your friends and tell them to quit bubbling their doggone bongs on the telephone line. Oh, wait, I mean flush the toilet, sorry. Yeah. There you go,
All right.
Hello?
Make sure I'm muted.
What? We're going to pause the recording because we have a lot of background talk.
How do you mute it?
Well,
We're on 10 now. 10.
you give them some messages.
Huh?
If you give them mouse a cookie, but
Oh, yeah.
they have one that's, if you give a moose a mouse.
It's a blizzard out there now.
Yeah. Well, at least you know the weather doesn't have anything to do with the phone. Because yesterday was clear as the phone was still spotty.
All these years, I understand.
I'm half tempted to say we will find you and take action against your license.
It'd be hard for us to tell, but when they did, I've listened to some other state calls, they had the ability to unmute individuals.
I think that was true. It's similar to what we had for the public consumption or on-site consumption hearing, where somebody had it's super expensive.
Go figure, right?
I'd love to be able to do that. That's great.
I saw him and he was like, the line, and there was 2 people behind him. I said, I'm not going to go stand.
I decided that we should find people who don't use their cars. Take action.
I assume when days like this, you don't walk, right?
I do if it's just downtown. I won't walk from home.
Well, why not?
Because I don't walk from home on Sunday days.
Oh, you don't? I thought you probably did.
No. So I go to the gym and I check out. But no, I will. If I find a place to park downtown, I'll park and then I'll walk. Well, like this morning, we go to the gym just behind the we drove in, parked, went up. My wife's going to go work out. I got nice palms to do that and shower. I walked back down and got in the car and dropped off my gym bag, picked up that bag, walked over in the wind and rain.
I spent a lot of time, as you know, on, ACS.
All right.
When I had to look at that field.
Hot chocolate put me to sleep.
Nice. Sugar buzz and a...
Yeah. Look at everything. I'll tell you what. What doesn't kill me will later. All right. We are back on the record. Drum roll, please. We are going to do... Yeah, thank you. We're going to do limited marijuana cultivation facility applications, and we are starting with Aurora Borealis Cannabis Company in Talkeetna. Is anybody here from there?
Hello, yes.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
That was quick. Good deal. Okay, this would be Sharon Thompson?
Yes, it is.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself to us. Are you represented by counsel, just so we know who the other voices are?
Nope, it's just me.
It's you. All right, go ahead. Introduce yourself to us and give us the elevator talk.
Oh, my name's Sharon Thompson, and I am just starting a limited facility here. Little extra money on the side.
Okay, let's get a motion. I forget we did that one.
Chair, motion to approve license number 15768 for Borealis Company with delegation.
There's a second. Second. Okay, so,
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I had a quick question. The premises diagram was difficult to figure out. Is the portion that's going to be the limited cultivation currently constructed?
Yes.
Okay. And then I looked in the lease. It looked like you were leasing the residence. Does that lease that's in this application include the lease for the grow operation and the house, or is this lease just for the portion of the house you're using as a limited cultivation?
It's for the whole property.
So you're, okay.
Okay, Ms. Thompson. So we kind of started asking people, even a small cultivation can be a fairly complex project. Yeah. Do you have any experience in cannabis cultivation?
Well, yes, I've grown for myself for a while.
Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And you've kind of scoped out what's involved in. I mean, you've got a pretty.
Yeah, it's a small facility. Yeah, I'm not going for quantity. I'm going for quality.
Sure. No, what I was going to say was, let me get back to the premises diagram here. Actually, for fairly decent size, 25 by 23, right? And
yeah, it used to be a shop.
Okay. So you're going to have 91 square feet on cultivation. Okay. When you say you're going for quality, you get some. I mean, do you have a market in mind?
Yeah, just locally.
Have you talked to any of the local retailers, see if they're interested in more local products?
I've talked to one. That's it so far.
And I'm just asking this question because small cultivators seem to, in some cases, bear the financial burden of the industry more than other types of licensees. And so, do you have the financial wherewithal to both get the business started and be able to meet your tax obligations, right out of the gate? And again, that's a problem that some small cultivators have had, is they kind of get ahead.
Yeah, no, I should have, and I work full time, so.
Okay, and this is going to be a one-person show, or are you planning on having any employees?
It'll be a two-person.
All right.
I have somebody I'm hiring, my ex-husband. He lives in the residence there.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Professor Thompson, sure, go ahead.
I guess I have a question. So there is a small loft area, apparently.
A walkway between the two buildings, yes.
No, a loft area.
Or in the, okay.
So, okay. I just wanted to make sure there was a second floor drawing. Somehow I didn't notice that, but there is a second floor. Okay, never mind. Question answered.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Get ready to vote on license 15768, Aurora Borealis Cannabis Company, limited cultivation with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Emmett?
Yeah.
I'm a yes, so there you go. We will move.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, we'll move on to, there's no rattles. Okay. Move on to Cottonmouth Road. David Nunley, are you with us?
I am with you.
Okay, very good. And I know Cottonmouth. Mr. Chair, I'll play a story sometime.
Motion to approve license number 17079, Cottonmouth Road, with delegation and conditions pursuant to 3 AAG 306.060B.
And KPB. Conditions also?
Yeah, KPB.
All right. There's a second? Second. All right. Moved seconded. So go ahead and introduce yourself to us, Mr. Nunley, and tell us, Nunley, and tell us what you're all about.
My name's Dave Nunley. I've owned, I retired the oil field in 11. I've owned Alaskan Organics actually since 06, which is an organic plant food company. I've got a degree in ornamental horticulture that I got in 82. Basically, it's my wife, myself, and my son doing this.
All right. You ever grown marijuana before?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, we just asked him. Okay, so this is near your residence? Yep. So what's this, your garage?
It is.
Okay. Your son's 21, huh? I'm just speculating.
No, he's actually 33.
Oh, well. I never did make much money at the Guess Your Asian Week. It was at the fair. Mr. Chair? Yes, sir.
And he's almost my youngest, so.
The question I have is, this is in your residence. You talked about the fact that it'd be you and your wife. You are the only owner shown on the application, and under the lease, you're leasing to yourself from yourself and your wife. So my question is your wife going to be an employee, have a handler's card, not an owner? Is that the correct understanding?
She's actually a professional massage therapist. She does have her handler's card, as does my son, and they've had it for a while. So it's not going to be any more than I can handle, except for I'm getting older, and I need help physically, with tasks.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, and you got a market lined out for what you're going to be growing there?
I do.
Okay. All right, and you understand what your tax responsibilities would be?
I absolutely do.
Okay. Spreadsheet everything out. All right, you got much traffic in there? You going to have any gawkers?
No, I have about 7 acres here altogether, and no, I'm a pretty private person. We are private people. All my kids are grown, and so no, I'm not going to have any gawkers.
Okay, very good. Any other questions? All right, so for license 17079, Cottonmouth Road, Limited Cultivation, with through a 6060B and connected to the borough conditions and delegation. Jones.
Yes.
Miller. Yes. Yes, I'm a yes, so there you go.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate and ladies, I appreciate it.
Okay, moving right along. I see you rustling in the back of the room. Oh, I meant you. Got it. Okay, so I'm guessing Ms. Welty, you're here for SMG LLC.
Yes, attorney for SMG LLC.
Okay, let's get a motion going on that.
Mr. Chair, motion to approve license number 17105 SMG LLC with delegation.
And a second. Second. All right.
And Tony, the licensee is on the line as well.
Okay, good afternoon.
So this is a small, limited cultivation, 492 square feet. Cultivation. It's on the second floor of Tony's personal garage. So only the second floor is licensed.
What was that? That better not be Harry Christian. Okay, take a look at that. Anybody got any questions on the application so far?
Get the map right now.
We could probably use that.
The conference is now in listen-only mode.
A big locked door on the stairs.
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna be one-man show.
One-man show. It's small grow, and Tony feels like he can handle it on his own.
Okay. All right. You just growing for the local retail market.
Yeah. As you can see, there's little farms around him, like the flower farm that's next door, and pretty industrial neighborhood. So it seems like it's going to work out. No sections from the neighbors. Get pretty simple setup.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Not seeing any for license 17105, SMG LLC, limited cultivation with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Brennan?
Yes.
Yes, so there you go.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, Lazy Mountain Cultivation. Lazy Mountain.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
The agenda for this meeting.
Cultivation, on the line.
Nervous.
This is Tim Maley.
Okay, good, good afternoon, Mr. Maley. Can we get a motion on this?
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve license number 17440, Lazy Mountain Cultivation Company.
Second. Second, Mr. Miller. Folks, if you're on the line, I hear one person out there in the background. This is the Marijuana Control Board. We're working on license applications, and most of the applicants are on the phone, so we'd appreciate if you mute your phones so we don't have to listen to your conversations while we're trying to listen to the applicant. Okay, Mr. Maley, go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what you're all about.
Okay. Again, my name is Tim Maley, small business owner in Eagle River for the past 30 years. My son and I are going in on this. He's basically the brains of the operation. We bought an old house out near Lazy Mountain. We're converting just for this purpose only.
Mr. Maley, if you're on a speakerphone, can you go and turn the speakerphone off and just talk into the microphone?
Okay. Still there?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay.
In the cabinet. That's my pop.
Okay, so you're a small business owner and 30 years, and you and your son, something.
Yes, my son and I are this is our project together, and we specifically found this property in near Lazy Mountain, and just that's the whole purpose of it is to do a limited grow.
Okay, so this is on are you living in this house, or your son living in it?
No.
Do you have a tenant in there?
No, we do not.
Okay, so, okay, are you planning on doing anything with it, or are you just going to have the cultivate on the side?
Just cultivating only.
Okay, and you're not, let's see, we don't really see much of a floor plan of the adjoining house, I guess. But you're not intending to conduct anything related to the cultivation, drying, or packaging outside of the licensed premises?
That's correct.
Okay, you and or your son know how to grow marijuana?
I've grown, and we've been looking at doing this for several years, and I've been doing a lot of research, talking to a lot of the retail stores, introducing myself, and I think we got a good handle on it.
All right, and you got business experience, so you know what you're fighting off.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So good. Any other questions, Mr. Maley? Okay, then license 17440, Lazy Mountain Cultivation Company, with delegation. Mr. Jones? Yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Bennett? Yes. And I'm a yes, so there you go.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Okay, 2 birds, 1 stone. Here, I guess.
Yes, hello, this is Lawrence Benson.
Yes, there you go. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's get a motion on 17445.
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve license number 17445, 2 birds, 1 stone with delegation.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Same way, Mr. Miller. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what you got in mind.
Well, hello again, I'm Lawrence Benson, and I'm looking to start up a new limited cultivation facility on this property. Just basically expanding my footprint and have plans to develop this property further after I get this little one on the way.
All right. Get all your permits squared away?
Yeah, I have the local permit. This particular property didn't need a CUP, and I'm in queue on the fire marshal at the moment.
And you said you hold a license already?
Yes, sir. I have a standard cultivation facility off of Richardson.
Oh, so this would be a second cultivation.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, we got here. What are you putting this in, a Connex?
No, sir. There's a small structure on site already that was a dry cabin that we're adding an addition to.
Okay, you got an outhouse. Is that what that is? A restroom?
Correct.
Okay, and water tank, and there's your hand wash, I guess. Okay. So you're stuffing everything into that utility room, huh? Processing, drying, tested and untested marijuana storage.
Correct. The whole building will be actually staggered, so the actual amount of material that's being processed is probably about 25% of what the building's carrying at one time, so it'll be in small batches, basically.
Okay, is anybody living on this property? Is there residents on here?
No, sir.
Okay, so you'll be walking away from it.
Correct.
I
live down the road.
Yeah, where's Ring Lane?
It's on 17 miles, Hot Spring Road. There's actually another cultivation right on Ring Lane as well.
Yeah, goodness. Is this close to Herbal Instincts?
It's probably a stone's throw away.
Okay. It sounded, the name sounded familiar. Have you heard from the neighbor? And I know there's a neighbor down there that doesn't like cannabis that much. Have you talked to them? They know what you're doing?
Yes, I actually used to be a part of that particular facility, so I know the lay of the land there.
Okay, you're leasing this to yourself?
Correct.
Right.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
On the steps memo, it said the fire marshal said everything was okay as long as no CO2 is being used. But on the MJ04, page 3 of 7, it says CO2 will be used and a CO2 generator. That's something we need to deal with, or is that just considered part of the delegation? Maybe it's a question more for staff. Because your memo is pretty explicit that the fire marshal says yes, as long as no CO2, the application says CO2 will be used.
My application says that? That should be incorrect. I'm not using any CO2 management systems.
Because the fire marshal response on the memo on tab 50 says pending, but the fire marshal response on tab 51 says no CO2.
Yeah, and page 3 of 7 on the MJ04, 4.7 says there will be no carbon dioxide management systems. What kind of heater you got in there?
There's a toil monitor heater currently installed.
Okay, so that's not even much of a CO2. So you have no intention to CO2?
No, and I should have stated on my application as well that there will be no CO2 management.
Well, it does say that. It does say that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it does say that. And I didn't see in the memo. I
was the wrong tab.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Good. So you're 17 mile out there. Of course, you've got what's that outfit that's near? Are they a cultivator or retail?
It's a big greenhouse grow.
Okay. All right. They had any security problems?
Not that I know.
Yeah.
I know they had a smell issue, but that was resolved by the borough.
Okay. So you're pretty comfortable with your security plan? Both
yes, sir.
Surveillance. How are you moving your surveillance data out? Are you clouding it out, or what are you doing?
Yeah. So there is actually an AT&T cell tower there that I can access pretty decent internet speeds to back up everything.
Okay, good. All right. right, any other questions? I like your name, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so for license 17445, 2 birds, 1 stoned, no comma, Green Tree Farms LLC, with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Miller? Yes. Yes, and I vote yes, so there you go.
Thank you for your time.
Which brings us to, I think we'll get done with all these today, maybe. Between the limits. Okay, J&M Investments, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
This is Mr. Wells, along with Mr. Anderson. We're present.
Okay, hang on just 1 second.
Alrighty.
Motion to approve license number 17508, J&M Investments LLC with delegation.
Is there a second? Second. All right, we got a second. Okay, I opened that tab yet. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to us and tell us what you got in mind.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I guess this is the one I was on. I asked about the CO2.
Oh, yeah, I see the fire marshal comment.
So, fire marshal comment, and then on 3 of 7. So if they could address that, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Okay, Mr. Wells, you still with us? Lose the phone line? Can anybody hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, there you go. Boy, we lost you there for a minute.
You broke up a little bit. It sounded like the question surrounded page 3 of 7 on the MJ04. Initially, when it was planned, CO2 was going to be used. After turning that into the fire marshal and the extra expenses involved in that, they have abandoned the request to use CO2.
Okay, why don't we, and let's let the applicant introduce himself to us and tell us what the plan is.
Yeah, my name is Justin Anderson, and I'm present also.
Okay, so the J&M is Justin and Mark.
Yeah, Justin and Mark.
All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
And given Mr. Wells' comment, I'd be sure on the delegation that they remove the CO2 from their operating plan.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's fine. I'll send in an amended operating. We'll cross that off. That's fine.
All right, that sounds good. So, gentlemen, do you have business experience?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Okay. You got marijuana growing experience?
I do indeed, yes.
Okay. What are you looking at for a market here?
Local area, Valley, Anchorage.
I say that again?
The local area in the Valley, also Anchorage.
Okay, they said local area in the alleys.
Valley.
All right.
Local area in the alley.
Good. Yeah. Okay. It sounded like. Okay, I'm just trying to check something here real quick. All right. Okay, so I'm looking at the lease, and it's got this is NARK sites, and the application says NARC sites. Is there 2 Mark Sykes?
No, there's only one.
Mark, okay, so it's entered agreement between Mark L. Sykes and NARK, but all your other paperwork says NARC. Is that, which one's got the typo?
It's just a typo.
On the lease? Or on the...
It's NARC.
I answer this question all the time. Is it Mark with a K or Mark with a C?
It's Mark with a C.
Mark with a C. Okay. Then the lease has got a typo on it. I imagine he signed his name correctly then. You got Mr. Wells there for counsel. I'm sure you did. All right. Okay. So is this on a residential property?
residential or commercial property?
It's on it's a residential property.
Okay, and when you guys staying there?
Yes, Mark resides there.
Okay. And is everything built? You get the building up? You have much waiting time here?
Yes, the building's all done. We're just putting in the last touches on the security system, and we'll be up and go.
Okay, very good. Any other questions?
No, sir.
No, I mean, from the board. All right, okay. Then on license 17508J&M Investments, limited cultivation with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Remmett? Yes, yes, so there you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, need new glasses. 8 a.m. Alaska? No, Bam, Alaska. Bam, Alaska, you with us?
Yep. Yes, we are.
So is your counsel.
Hey, Mike.
All right, get a motion on license 17886.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, motion to approve license number 17886, Bam, Alaska, with delegation.
The second?
Second.
Okay, second, Mr. Miller. All right. Go ahead and either introduce your clients or let them introduce themselves.
Okay, Karen Wilson, the attorney for BAM Alaska. My client, BAM Alaska Inc., is owned by Mike and Steve, who also own House of Green on Minnesota Drive in Anchorage, and also own their BAM Alaska Cultivation, which is underneath us. So this is a limited grow to help feed their existing retail. So their retail has been doing pretty well, and they need another internal flower source.
Okay, and what kind of property is this on?
It's on 5 acres.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's on 5 acres.
It's on a 5-acre parcel, and it's basically a double unit, kind of like apartment type, but the only person that's living in one of the units is the sister of Mike, and she is over the age of 21, and there's no kids under 21, and also no access to any of the licensed areas through any entry point from her apartment.
Okay, I see we have an objection. Let me just ask is Esther Huddleston on the line? She's the objector. Well, now, she's got 3 licenses on here.
I think she's referring to 3 different licenses that may be in areas where there's homes. I went ahead and Google mapped Connect Boost Day Elementary School to the facility, and it's 2.5 miles away, so it's pretty far.
Okay, and 5 acres are back from the street.
Yeah, correct.
Who's going to be managing the grow? Your sister, or you guys going to go out there and doing it?
I live in the valley, and I'm kind of looking forward to limiting my commute into Anchorage.
There you go.
Yeah, Mike has been driving back and forth from Anchorage to the valley for a good 2 years now, so he's pretty excited to have the cultivation near the home.
Okay. All right, here we go. Applicant is requesting approval for the word incinerate waste.
I would like to make a comment on that. It says that waste that's made unusable. After that, it's not really what the board, right?
Yeah, it's rendered unusable.
That's between him and the borough.
And that was our interpretation, but we stopped because, our staff had questions for the board.
Yes, Chair. Yeah, if I remember our previous conversation, or like once it's been rendered unusable, it's no longer marijuana.
Right.
It's garbage. And so if they're allowed to burn their garbage, then that's not our concern.
And that was our interpretation, but...
Well, the problem, the thing is, though, they talk about they want to dispose of, they want to incinerate it on site.
The leaves and roots and stuff, yes, we were hoping to.
After
or
it's
just
been
the
grown,
leaves
it
and
will be either
trim?
And the roots are no longer considered marijuana waste.
Right. All I'm wondering is, it might be prudent to, you guys already know how to, you might want to do an experiment. You might want to render, some waste unusable in the manner that you're planning on doing, and, take that to a gravel pit and burn it and see what it smells like.
I think we'll have to wait till after approval to try that, just because that would break our rules here.
Well, once it's two steps. You render it unusable. You grind it up. You mix it up with coffee grounds or paper or whatever. It's disposed of, right? You've given us 3 days' notice. You render it unusable. It's out of metric. It's trash and metric. Then take it out and light it on fire. Because I just would hate to see you guys light a burn barrel out on your property here, and the neighbors start freaking out that, boy, they must be having a big party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. So just check that out. I mean, as long as you're rendering it unusable in a proper manner, then you can feed it to the hogs, or you can, throw it whatever we're going to do. But I'd be checking it out to see what it smells like when it burns.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You got good internet connectivity out there for running metric?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. And you're going to be separating the business records from this grow from your other licenses, correct?
Yeah, they'll be stored there on premises in the office there.
Okay. All right. And how about your videotape, your surveillance?
Yes, we have 16 gigabytes or 16 terabytes of hard drives.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, any other questions? Guess I don't need to ask you guys how to grow marijuana.
They do.
Yeah. They already are. Okay. Yeah. Good. All right, I guess we're ready to vote on BAM Alaska, license 17886, limited cultivation with delegation. Mr. Jones? Yes. Miller? Yes. Rabbit? Yes. And, yes. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Brandon, just wanted to say thank you. We appreciate everything you've done for the industry. Hate to see you go.
Thanks, Al. Hopefully, Brandon. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, that brings us to Tok Gardens.
Hello, this is Andrew Hurst.
All right, let's get a motion going here.
All right, Mr. Chair, motion to approve license number 17916, Tok Gardens LLC with delegation.
Second. Second. All right, moving seconded. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what you get.
Hi, I'm Andrew Hurst, and I put up a 30 by 40 building here, and hoping to do the thing I love. I started growing cannabis a few years ago because I got an illness, and it's just proved to be something that I very much like doing.
All right. What's your what kind of market you plan on growing for here?
Whatever local dispensaries are open to purchase at the time I have something harvested. Some preliminary tests that I've done on some of my home grows has shown good percentage, and I've shown interest from a few different dispensaries now.
Okay, well, we call them retail stores, but...
Sorry.
All right. It's going to be one-man show? You gonna have some help in there?
I do plan on having 2 employees.
Okay. You got some business experience?
A small amount, yes.
Small amount. Okay, but you understand what your tax responsibilities are.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, we have an objection here. Let me see if the objector is online. Carol Derby from Wasilla, are you online? Carol Derby. Okay. We have Miss Huddleston. We already looked for her. Okay, have you, does Miss Derby live near you? She's at 10.
I believe there is. I'm sorry, say that again? 10384
West Lakeshore Drive.
Yes, I do believe that's in the same subdivision area.
Okay, is she close by to you, or a few lots away, or?
Definitely a few blocks away, not in the same neighborhood.
Okay, so she's talking about a non-conforming use against the covenants. Is there a homeowners association there in the subdivision, or were there covenants on the subdivision when you bought it?
There is no active association. The covenants were made in 1974.
Okay, are there any other businesses going on in the, not marijuana business, but just businesses in the subdivision?
Yes, there's a well drilling service just, actually my neighbor down the road.
Okay. All right, so this is you and your wife leasing this to yourselves. Is she? Okay, it's a single sole proprietorship, and your wife and you are leasing the property to yourself.
Yes.
Okay. You anticipating any odor problems?
No, not at all.
And what's your waste disposal plan?
It would be to notify the appropriate means and then wait the 3 days, destroy by grinding, and either throwing into the dumpster we have on site here or taking it directly to the local dump.
Any other questions? Don't see any, I guess. And you're it's right next. You're living right there, so you'll have security.
Yes, and we have a security camera system with a large hard drive and a security lockbox for the hard drives.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then on license 17916, Tok Heavenly Gardens LLC, Women Cultivation with Delegation. Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Brett. Yes. Yes. So there you go.
Thank you so very much.
No, you're very welcome. Okay. Haystack Investments.
Dan Dean, attorney for Haystack Investments, and
representing Haystack.
And the licensees are online as well.
All right, very good. Get a motion here.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Motion to approve license number 18111 Haystack Investments, Inc. with delegation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hey. Go ahead.
So this is a small limited cultivation. There's about 200 square feet of area under cultivation. It's located on the same property as Jim and Carrie's personal residence, and so they will be living in their house and managing with Richard the grow. They don't intend to have any employees start off. There's 3 of them. It's a pretty small space. There's no minor children that live on site, and Jim has experience. He used to own an insurance company and Fairbanks for a long time. Jim, Richard, and Carrie, do you have anything else to add?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Do you have anything else to add to my intro?
No, that's good.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so who's the green thumb here? Would that be Richard?
Yes, that would be me. I'm going to be doing all the growing.
Okay, good. I guess you've done it before. Is here. All right, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Where's Haystack Mountain Road? Set up.
It's in the Fairbanks North Star Borough.
That's the middle of nowhere.
And you know how I'm not the best with placing things geographically.
I can tell you. It's 25 miles north of town, up the Elliott.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, cool. Above the ice fog. What's ice fog? I forgot.
I know I haven't seen it in a few years.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Haystack Investments? Not seeing any. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Is reporting on license 18111, Haystack Investments, limited cultivation delegation. Mr. Jones said yes. Mr. Miller? Yes. Run it?
Yeah, phone up over
yes. So there you have it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Matanuska Bud, LLC. Are you with
Good
us?
afternoon. This is Mr. Wells. We should have Mr. Hull joining us on the line.
Okay.
This is Jim Hull. I'm on the line for
Okay. Okay. Give us a second to get a motion here.
All right, Mr. Chair, I motion to approve license number 18931, Matanuska Bud LLC with delegation.
There's a second.
Second.
That was Mr. Jones.
No.
Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller. You guys all sound alike. Tell me. Okay. All right. Mr. Hull, go ahead and fill us in who you are and what you got in mind.
All right, my name is Jim Hull. I retired from Florida about 3.5 years ago. I was a contractor for the last 30 years, building houses, framing, whatever. Been growing since I've been off the slope. I do have another employee that's a grower, growing with me. As far as market, I own 5% of Matanuska Cannabis, a retail store, and a limited grow. And my idea is to grow some cannabis and put it to our store.
Okay, so you're already affiliated with a retail license and a cultivation license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Hull?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
On your premises diagram, you show the only access to the limited grow operation is through a door that is inside your personal shop.
Yes, sir.
There's no external exit or otherwise. So in terms of cameras and moving product through and out of the restricted access area or the limited or the licensed premises out to move, you will have that camera, your personal shop camera as well.
I have outside the door of the grow operation is a camera, and outside the door of my personal shop there is a camera also. So yes, there is cameras.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, not seeing any other questions, then for license 18931, Matanuska Bud LLC, limited cultivation with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tremont? Yes. I'm a yes, so there you go.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
You're very welcome. Thank you, gentlemen.
You bet. Okay, AK Gold LLC in Kenai. AK Gold LLC, are you with us?
Yes, this is Mark Call with AK Gold LLC.
Okay, very good. Give us a minute to get a...
All right, Mr. Chair, I motion to approve license number 18945, AK Gold LLC, with delegation and KPB conditions.
For a second.
Second.
Okay, move second, Mr. Miller. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what you got in mind.
My name is Mark Powell. It's AK Gold LLC. We're building have built, I should say, a limited cultivation facility at an existing business that I've had for some 30 years. We have contacted local markets. We are scheduled for the Planning Commission on the 11th with the Kenai Peninsula Borough and the Borough Assembly on the 4th. And I'm waiting on my fire plan. But it's been submitted for some time, so I expect it very soon, and we will be ready to go by mid-March, latest third week. CIS has contracted to do the security, and they'll be here on Monday, and we're pretty much ready to go.
Okay, this is in your yard?
No, it's on a personal piece of property that I have at mile 19.5 on the spur highway that I use for a commercial salmon buying operation in the summer. And the mobile home that's on the property is occupied by my 33-year-old son.
Yeah, it's kind of a cluttered-looking photo. So the grow is that big white building in the middle.
It's the small green that's connected to the big white building in the middle. That is a 40 by 80 shop that we use for storage and commercial fishing operations, and the grow is a 20 by 50 new construction on the longitudinal side of the big building.
Okay, then look, are you going to be using salmon for fertilizer?
Yeah, we might in the future with the organics. Yes, we've seen that just the fluid that goes across the salmon in large volumes and is collected will grow 6 feet fireweed in gravel. So I'm interested in trying to do some experiments.
Yeah. Back when we had some fishing action in Bethel, Tim Meyer would fill a big water tank up with dead fish and live in the water. It was like heck. Okay.
Can I ask a question? Did you notice any downside in the quality of the buds by using fish?
He wasn't using them for growing marijuana. He was for his greenhouse. He's a farmer.
For vegetables we know it works good.
He's big on the organic stuff.
Right.
He's big on the organic stuff. Okay. So your 33-year-old son lives there. That's your fish plant. That building on the far right?
Yes, we don't process there. We buy large volumes of salmon from commercial set netters, ice them, and weigh them at the location in the summer, and then I contract with the large processors located on the river to cut my pack, and then I sell it.
Okay, yeah, close enough. All right, very good. Any questions? Got any fancy, tricky, Kenai-ish or salmon-ish names for any of your strains?
We're developing those right now. I've got 12 strains from around the world and a couple from Alaska, but we haven't changed those names at all yet.
Okay, real good. We're just burning up the clock.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? Any more questions here on AK Gold LLC? Not hearing any, so for license number 18945, AK Gold LLC, limited grow with Kenai Peninsula Boroughs, 3AC 306-060B with delegation. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Rabbit? Yes. I'm a yes, so there you go.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay, so
have a good day.
Yep, you too. Need to be out of here at 4, right? 4:30?
You need to be out of the building by 4:30.
Building by 4:30. Okay, well, I need to be up in the Legislature's office a quarter after, so.
Probably get this one knocked out.
Kush, yeah, in fact,
Kush is a denial of conveyance.
Okay, Great Alaska Kush here.
Jan Wellstein, attorney for Great Alaska Kush, and Kim Cole, the licensee, is on the phone.
Yes, I am.
Good afternoon, Kim. Hope we didn't make you wait too long. Okay, get a motion. Make notes. Oh, she's on the board.
So just for the record, both myself and Mr. Miller are on the AMIA board, but there are only 4 of us here today. So I would ask that we could not be recused because the interest of the public process outweighs the financial interest that Mr. Miller or I may have from Kim being a MIA.
Yeah, I'll rule that I don't see that you have a potential interest just because she's a board member of AMIA. AMIA is a volunteer organization. So I don't see that there's any conflict there at all.
Okay. That's it. So listen, we've got a objection from the County of Anchorage. The director, is this protest still pending?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chair. Well, I would motion to deny the license to uphold the protest with a many-day abeyance period.
Because we just had a community council meeting on February 14th, and I needed to have that done before we could submit our special land use permit. And typically, once you get it submitted and being complete by the meeting, it still takes about 75 days for them to get it onto the assembly agenda. So instead of 90 days, I would ask for 120.
Okay, so with a 120-day abeyance period.
A second?
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Evans, second by Mr. Miller. Okay, we do have some objections here and there.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
That was one of the questions. This is a very low license number, and there are several other licenses that she operates that have as low numbers. Most of these objections are back to 2016. And my just general question is, why are we in January 2019 looking at applications that had objections in 2016? What took so long?
What took so long is the build-out of Raspberry was more intensive, and we needed to have a lot more input, and that slowed down the process of getting that open, which getting that open was necessary before we started working on the Alaska Kush company. So we did redo the notices, though, the local government and the public posting, as you'll see, to make them more updated, because we didn't feel like it was, fair to have the notice be so old. So that's why it's so long. It's just the pains and struggles of developing in the meeting of Anchorage.
Okay, Ms. Cole, can you address then, well, let me ask, is any of the objectors online? Let's see, we got here. Dr. Gray, are you online?
Yes, this is Dr. Charlie Gray.
Okay, let's see if you're there. And how about Miles Kruger? Okay. All right, let's talk about this a little bit, and we will get to you, Dr. Gray. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so this is the retail.
At the stores, it's directly across the Great Alaska Bush Company, and it is meant, to be a high-scale, retail store. As you see, Dr. Gray's financial advisor was just a New York Life comment. Also, reiterated some of his concerns. We intend to, minimize any impact to his business as possible.
And has she started building this out yet?
Kim, do you want to give a little update?
Sure. We have, sorry with the delay, it's a little weird. So we have started a little bit of the build out. We haven't built any walls yet, but we have basically demoed it so that it can be a clean slate, so we can start building as soon as we can in the next week or two. Well, maybe a little bit longer than that, but fairly shortly.
Okay. Dr. Gray, which unit are you located in?
I'm in unit number 4, which is directly next door to the proposed Gray Alaska Kush Company. We share the same wall. My bay is about 6 to 8 inches away from hers.
You're in unit 4?
Yes.
And Ms. Cole, are you doing unit?
Is unit 2?
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's technically unit 2 and 3.
Oh, unit 2 and 3. Okay. All right, so you got garages at one end. Okay. Is there any physical communication between your 2 units, Doctor?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, is there any physical communication between the 2 units? Doorway or do you share?
We share an open ceiling currently.
Share an open ceiling.
It's a drop ceiling with no wall divider currently.
Really? Okay. And how about do you share the front door awning or anything?
The 2 front doors are side by side.
Yeah, side by side. All right. So, Ms. Cole, you may have heard our discussion yesterday about stickers on the doors and stuff. What's your plan for advertising your location?
Well, we are going to have a sign, but I did not hear the discussion about stickers on the doors or anything. It will be relatively subtle. We are not, one of those that's going to have flashing signs or, big, huge pot leaves or anything like that. It will be tasteful. You obviously won't be able to see anything at all from the storefront. The original window that you can see into will only be into the waiting room, and you won't be able to see any kind of product whatsoever from the front way.
I would just add, if you go to diagram 3, 4, and 5, so the last page of the MJO2, the front door for the retail store is the door that's connected with Unit 2, and then there's the door for Unit 3, and then there's a big gap, and then there's the doctor's entryway. So they are separated. They don't share a doorway or have it right next to each other touching.
The doors are separated by about 6 to 8 inches top in the front of the building.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about your objection letter here, Doctor. So your objection is, of course, you have a going concern, a healthcare business. You have clients that include children. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I would, but you are a doctor, a DC?
Yes, I'm a doctor of chiropractic.
Okay. All right. Have any of your clients, or are your clients aware that Ms. Cole is seeking to open a retail business there?
Yes, some of them have written objection letters. I had a patient as recently as the end of last week send in another letter, and I received a certified mail back that it was received by your office on Tuesday.
Okay, it's not in here. All we have is letters from you and from your financial advisor.
I have sent in multiple emails. I have multiple copies of letters, the objections, not just mine or Miles.
Okay, and so the crux of your objections would be, could you summarize that for us?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, can you summarize what the crux of your objection to Ms. Cole's proposed business establishment next to yours is?
I question the legality of it based off.
Welcome to the GCI conference. Thank you. Please stand by. You will now be placed into conference. There are 48 participants in the conference.
And affect their children.
Yeah, Doctor, let me ask you this. So, did your business exist in this space before or after the Bush Company moved in across the street?
The Bush Company's been here for I don't know how long, probably older than me. We opened our doors on August 9th to 2009.
Do you think that Ms. Cole's business is somehow going to more adversely affect the character of your neighborhood than the Bush Company?
Yes, because the Bush Company is across the street and down the road. Mrs. Cole's business is directly next door to mine.
Gotcha.
So, Doctor, you said that your objection is based on our advertising regulation.
Advertising, not only signage, but with the current marijuana regulation, every piece of package and every piece of product has to have where it was manufactured, name and address, where it was cultivated, name and address, where it was sold, name and address. Every time that goes out the door, that's no different than handing out a business card with a regular business. Where did you get your product? Oh, I got it at Great Alaska. It's over there on East International. That's advertising. And there is no of the space that she's in that is over 1,000 feet from my building or from any point in my office.
Okay, well, I'll just clarify that for regulatory purposes, we don't consider labels on products to be advertised, and we actually consider that to be a function of our responsibility to the public health and safety, that consumers know what they're getting and where it's coming from. So we don't consider that as being, a business card or anything else. Ms. Cole, can you describe your signage plan for your establishment?
In terms of signage, like I said before, we're just going to have a simple sign on the front of the building with Great Alaskan Kush Company on it, and that's it. No neon, no plastic signs, no big pot leaves. If you were to come into Raspberry, you would be able to see that there's very little odor. I actually get compliments all the time. Elaine is the Muni person in Anchorage who has complimented me repeatedly and has told other companies, hey, there are companies like Raspberry that don't smell.
Okay, Doctor, have you been in any, just, for research purposes, have you been in any marijuana establishments in Anchorage?
Yes.
Yeah, and was your observation that, there's any sort of off-putting odor within there that might, if you were next door to it, might seep over that unsecured open ceiling?
Yeah. I also have many patients, adult and children. Some are on the autism spectrum, and they have extreme sensitivities to smells. myself and all my employees, none of us wear perfumes or colognes out of respect for our patients, so that way we can help better their health instead of having things in our business that might irritate physicians.
Okay. Is chiropractic, are you guys subject to HIPAA?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so, are you going to have, Ms. Cole, are you going to have any exterior camera coverage for your front door?
We have to.
Okay, and have you considered that might have the potential for difficulty for the doctor in terms of HIPAA?
Well, are there any other retails that are located next to any medical facilities?
I'll handle this one. That wouldn't violate HIPAA. HIPAA is something that has to do with the client, with the patient's personal identification, health, and symptoms, and diagnosis issues. This would just be into the parking lot. I'm sure that actually that this whole strip mall probably already has their cameras pointed at their parking lot to prevent vandalism. So that doesn't have anything to do with HIPAA. She's entitled as a tenant of the building to have a camera in front of her door that points outward 20 feet to capture people's faces coming into the facility.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So, Ms. Cole, can you speak to the doctor's concern, particularly on behalf of his patients, about sensitivity to odors? And is this correct that you basically are sharing airspace through the ceiling, that the communicating wall there does not go all the way to the roof truss, essentially?
So that has been a question of ours, and we've looked into potentially, essentially sealing that so that it does not end up having odors go over.
And also, this facility is not eligible for on-site consumption, so there'll be no smoking there or no other form of on-site consumption.
Right. And you're selling all prepackaged, no deli style?
No, we were planning on doing deli style, but the the jars are sealed.
So for the deli style, the only time that a smell is found is allow product to package. But most of the product is going to be pre-packaged just for the sake of time and efficiency. But the smell is contained in those jars because they're smell proof.
Anybody else, any questions? All right. Are we ready to vote? Yeah. Okay, let's vote, Mr. Jones. Yes. Mr. Miller. Yes. Mr. Emmett. Yes. And I'm going to vote no, but it passes 3-0, or 3-1. 3-1. Okay, so there you go, Doctor. I hope you will maintain a good relationship with Ms. Cole, and Ms. Cole, same. If any issues arise, I hope that they can be dealt with between you, not having to rise to the level of having to phone her down.
So can I ask why this passed with the question of the advertising? Because when she hangs her sign, that technically violates that statute. That's illegal.
If you're misinterpreting regulations, that doesn't violate.
Right. We made our decision. We know what the regulations say, Doctor, and by voting, we interpret them.
So even though I provide services to children, I don't qualify as other facilities providing services to children?
No, sir, you do not. Yeah, we don't consider a sign out in front being advertising, and we don't consider packaging, labeling the advertising. So, thank you. We are recessed until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay.
The chairperson has disconnected. The conference will now end.